Can you talk about the origins of the walkers with Empire Strikes Back?
That was pretty much in the Joe Johnston and John Berg's court. John and I were living in Silver Lake, and Joe was in LA at the time after Star Wars. And, Joe was involved with mounting the ideas for the walkers with George. And they went through a number of different, kinds of iterations. One of them was like wheeled vehicles that were going to be RC, and I don't recall what else, but it was pretty much Dennis Muren and I think Joe Johnston that convinced George to do it as stop motion, because there's more control and we could do something more imaginative. So he bought that, and while we were in LA, John Berg worked on the prototype for the walker, and then once Island had gotten relocated in San Rafael, we moved up there and hired Tom Sanamon to do the final 3 walker armatures, and the the model shop made all the carapace and whatnot under Joe's direction. And that's kind of how it went.
Yeah. Do you remember having discussions back then about the practicality of the design, like in a real world, having 4 legs on this thing slowly marching across? It's fun, but it's silly. Were there any conversations about that back in the day?
Oh, yeah, there was a lot of experimenting. I mean, we had like the really early video playback thing, so that was really helpful. Initially, we used we'll use nature as the model for something, and so we started with an elephant, and Dennis and John Berg and I went out to a wild animal park and essentially did like Edward Muybridge tests or shots of elephant. I got a big chalk marker and marked up all of its joints. And then we did Dennis shot on 35 millimeter film the elephant, walking from left to right and then coming at you and then going away. And I put that up on the Moviola and just studied that. And, we shot a few tests based on the elephant, and it was just didn't work because the scale was wrong. The elephant was too small and walkers were a lot bigger. So it took a number of iterations to figure out its footfall pattern, which, resolved into, it needed to have 3 feet of contact all the time and only one leg moving, and then the circulation of which leg moved next was important. So, we just built it up like that until we found it. The moves that we had to make were so incremental that you couldn't even use a surface gauge for some of them because they were so small. You just kind of had to feel them.
Yeah. And then the 2-legged walkers in the background at Empire, did you model any animals for that? Or was it just, it's a quick thing we can
No, that was just a throwaway thing that Joe and John and Tom Sanamon just threw together on the weekends and showed it to George. And he said, yeah, we'll put it in the movie. I mean, a bunch of stuff happened like that, like I'd be bored on a weekend, or was waiting for something, paint to dry or something, and I made a little kind of a pterodactyl thing with a little tiny stuffed alligator's head on it, and showed it to George, and he said, we'll put that in Yoda Swamp. And then the design for the Wampa initially was absolutely horrendous. It was just awful what they shot. It was like this big bug-eyed thing with like antennas that were made out of springs with like big red balls on it. It was unbelievable.
It was just from 50s sci-fi stuff.
Ridiculous it was. So I pleaded with George to let me do something different. And he went, yeah, okay, fine, just don't take too much time.
And then you wanted to create something with the Wampa that was a little more like natural in the environment overall, that fit with the tauntauns.
Stupid, at least. That looked threatening.
MinnMax is a Patreon about games, friends, and getting better. The Deepest Dive is the best, most thorough discussions about games on the internet. Prove us wrong, please. The MinnMax Show podcast airs every Thursday. Patreon supporters vote on what we stream every single week, and a whole lot more. Give us a shot, try subscribing to the YouTube channel, and we hope we can win you over.